Hello you beautiful AJ people, my name is Gecko and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of me making add-ons and showing you how they work, I'm going to be showing you my top 5 must-have add-ons. So these are just add-ons that are fairly vanilla and they're really great add-ons, and yeah, they don't really change that much of the base game, so they're fairly vanilla friendly, but they just enhance the game so much. Now all of these add-ons will be linked in the description along with their timestamps, so you can just go ahead and download them from there. So first up we have Ambient Sounds. Now I'm going to be showing you some gameplay in a second, but I just want to say that I recorded this actually a while ago and I have tested it and the add-on does still work, but in those clips I used the shader, and obviously on Windows 10 you can't have shaders anymore, so yeah, don't ask for the shader name because it doesn't work in the current version of the game, but the Ambient Sounds add-on does still work. So I'm not going to end up talking too much over this, but as you can see there are a ton of ambient sounds and it just makes your world so much more lively. Tell me that wasn't just the best and most soothing experience you've ever had inside of the game. Okay, so I don't want to sound like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but next up we actually have an add-on that I've made myself. And this is the Dynamic Lighting Plus add-on. Now what this add-on basically does is when you hold certain items, like a torch for instance, it will light up the environment around you. Now there are some other dynamic lighting add-ons available besides my own, but I ended up picking this one for two specific reasons. Firstly, there are some customization to it, so you can actually adjust what light level you want to use, and the second reason is the fact that it is the smoothest of the ones that I have tested. So as you can see by the background footage, it doesn't really flicker. It does flicker on lower end devices, but if your device can run properly, you can see that it doesn't really flicker. But if we were to compare it to another one like the real light dynamic lighting, you can see that the real light one is a little bit more flashy, as you can tell here. So there will be a bit more flickering than with my personal one, and on top of that the Dynamic Lighting Plus add-on also has some other features, like for example certain mobs like blazes and magma cubes, and I think there's and vexes will actually also emit light, and then when a mob is also set ablaze it will also end up glowing. If you can just put out that fire, you can see that a burning mob will also emit fire or emit light. Because yeah, that's how the world usually works. When stuff burns, it emits light. Now something to just keep in mind is that when you use the Dynamic Lighting Plus add-on, your add-on does need to be at the very top of the list, otherwise it doesn't work. Which is a bit of a shame, since it means that some add-ons can't work alongside it. Like our next one. So this is the Java Debug Screen add-on. And so yeah, this add-on is a pretty useful one to have, but this add-on also needs to be at the very top of your add-on list, which means that you can't use this add-on alongside the Dynamic Lighting add-on, and you can't use the Dynamic Lighting Plus add-on alongside this add-on. Now for this specific add-on to work, you actually do need to turn on additional modding capabilities and the holiday creator features. Now, some of you might be confused and don't know what exactly the Java debug screen means. And yeah, so basically on the Java edition of the game, when you press the F3 button, it will toggle a debug menu that will tell you a bunch of information that's useful for developers, but it is also pretty useful when you're just playing the game. But sadly, the Bedrock edition never got it, we just got our coordinates. But all of that changes now. So as you can see, this add-on will add a bunch of the information that you'll usually see on the debug screen. And yeah, you can actually toggle this with your F8 button when you are on a computer or when you are on a mobile. Just besides the pause button, there will be a custom button with the letters F3 on them. Now sadly, if you use a controller, then yeah, there isn't really a way to toggle it. So if you are on Xbox, then this add-on won't work for you. But as you can see, there is a bunch of information being displayed. So it doesn't give you an exact frame rate, but it does tell you when your frame rate is more than 30 frames a second. Then it also tells you the server's tick speed, which is pretty useful when you are playing multiplayer. And that little E that you can see, that means the entity count. So currently there are 33 or 31 entities that are being loaded. Right underneath that you can see Minecraft overworld, and basically that just tells you what dimension you're in. So if we pop into the nether, you can see that it changed to Minecraft nether. Then there's obviously the position, which is just the normal coordinates that you can always see. But a new thing that it will be displayed right beneath the coordinates is the direction that you are facing. So as you can see, we are currently facing west towards the negative x-axis. Now we're facing north, east and south. Now this will be really convenient when you're navigating, since you don't need to look up to the sky and try to find out where the sun is to know which direction you will be traveling, since you can just pop this menu up and see which direction you are going. Then we also have the light level. So obviously it is currently day, so our light level is at 15. But if we walk into this excuse of a cave, you can see that it changed to light level 11 and 10, and if we're over here it's light level 8. So it will tell you the light level. Now this info is really useful when you are lighting up your build, since obviously the mobs can only spawn in certain light levels, and this will tell you what light level everything is, so you can make sure that everything is well lit up. Then it will also tell you which biome you're in. So currently we're at the jungle edge. Over here we're at the beach, and now we're in the warm ocean. And if we fly over to here, we have the deep lukewarm ocean. So it will just tell you the biome that you're in. Now it will also tell you what difficulty you're in. So currently we're in normal, so it's difficulty 2, normal. But if you were to quickly change it to difficulty hard, for instance, you can see that it updates in real time to difficulty 3, aka hard. Right underneath it, you can see that it has something called day and a 1. Now here in my old survival world, you can see that that changed to day 447. And basically what this means is that I have been playing in this world for 447 in-game days. Now, when you remove this add-on, you might be a bit confused when you are suddenly bombarded with all of this information. And that's basically because it's not as simple as just removing this add-on. You actually need to install a remover pack. So alongside the Java debug screen, when you download that one, it will also download this Java screen remover. So if we quickly activate this one and we hit play again, you can see that all of that weird mumbo jumbo was removed. And it will even tell you Java debug screen removal is successful in the chat. Now for our fourth add-on, we have one that is especially useful if you are someone who likes to build with the finer details. And that is the foxynotail armor stance plus add-on. So this add-on basically overhauls armor stands and makes them a lot more useful. So if we were to place one over here and let's give it a diamond sword, you can see the first thing that you will notice is that it is lacking arms. But we can change that by sneaking and pressing on it with black dye. As you can see, now the arms will be shown. If you press it again, the actual base will be invisible. And if you press it again, the arms will be invisible. and if you press it once again, you can see that it has changed size. So if you just spam it, you can see that this will just basically change the size and the appearance of the armor stand, and then something like the light grey dye will make it set, while the white dye will make it invisible. And yeah, just basically whichever dye you end up using on it will change the pose of the armor stand, which means you can do some pretty cool posing with it. But as you can probably tell from what I've just created, you might need a bit of practice to make something that's actually pretty cool, but the option to have it, and if you put a bit of time into working with it, will definitely be worth it, just because you can make some pretty detailed stuff. Now next up, we actually have another one by foxynotail, and that is the foxynotail mob heads. So every single mob in the game will have its own unique mob head, and when you kill it, it will have a chance of dropping it. And yeah, something about this add-on that I also think is pretty neat, is that not all of them just look like skulls. Some of them actually have custom geometry so that they look closer to the actual mob. Now actually punching it will just do nothing. What you need to do is to sneak and then right click or tap if you're on mobile, and that will remove the mob head for you. Now sadly, these are not skulls, so you can't equip them on your head, but in return for that, you can actually use them as chairs. And yeah, the fact that they are not actual skulls and instead they are entities means that you can do the things like using the dice to change their appearance and move them around. You wouldn't have been able to do this had it been actual mob heads. So yeah, that was my pick for the 5 add-ons that everyone should have in their Minecraft worlds. But yeah, I hope that you did enjoy this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and to subscribe if you are new around here. And if there are any add-ons that you want me to check out, maybe for a future video, feel free to comment them down below and I'll be sure to check them out. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I will see all of you again in the future with a brand new video. Cheers!